Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Who are these people?
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Don't be rude.
Well,
welcome. Another episode of Pro Wrestling Talk. I'm Angel Rivera, and this is Mrs.Witchy Perfect. And holy shit, do we have a lot to talk about tonight?
Wow! Did you guys see that awesome Elimination Chamber? Had me on the edge of my feet, or the edge of my seat.
So, yeah, real quick. I mean, before we get into this, sorry. All right, we're good. So, yep. So, Elimination Chamber took place last night at the Sky Dome in Toronto. Actually, it's called the Rogers Center, but I used to call it the Sky Dome, so it's like I still call it the Sky Dome, but it's the Rogers Center in Toronto, Canada. And first 30, 40 minutes, I didn't really pay much attention to the show, so sorry about that. But
yeah, no, I didn't either. I think was it Belair that won the women's Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did see that part. I was with my coven at the time, and we were trying to basically, I was like trying to ignore it because I'm like, yep, okay, women's not interested, right? So I pretty much like ignored it until the men, until it was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Then I was kind of like looking at it from time to time going, oh, come on, damn it. Come on, Sammy.
Yeah, so it took place from Toronto, Canada. I mean, let's just get through the first two matches. I didn't really pay much attention to either, but let's just go through it. All right. So the opening contest or match was the Women's Elimination Chamber for a shot at Rhea Ripley's Women's Championship at WrestleMania 41, which is the one in March or April. Bianca Belair did eventually defeat Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Liv Morgan, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez.
I mean, can I ask a question to you? Did you really think Roxanne Perez had a chance in this?
No.
I thought at first it was going to be Liv Morgan because maybe they would, wrestle that up again. But I didn't even know who Alexa Bliss was. I barely know who Belair is.
Yeah, she's been stuck in that women's tag team division for the longest time with Jade Cargill, which is why she hasn't been featured as much as she used to be.
Mhm.
So talking about Jade Cargill, she did come back at the beginning of the
Mhm.
match because they've been doing this angle. Jade Cargill's been out for the last few months, and they're doing this angle of who done it, who attacked Jade Cargill, and it. And so she came back. Everybody assumed it was Liv Morgan because she happened to be there right when they were taking her to the hospital because they showed
Right.
footage of that 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. So then all of a sudden she comes to the ring and Liv Morgan's like, "I didn't do it. I swear." She's scared to death, and then Jay Cargo goes in, turns and attacks Naomi, and just beats the living crap out of her, nearly destroys her.
Right.
And
I had some inklings that it was Naomi because isn't that funny
yeah,
that Jade's out and Belair needed a partner and Naomi.
yeah, she's the only one that benefits from that because she
Right.
ended up being a tag team champion without doing anything,
Right.
really. So yeah, then that implies that it was Naomi because there's no reason for her to attack Naomi. So
Right.
Bianca Belair ended up winning the thing anyways. So
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, I didn't think she would win it because she has this Jade Cargill Naomi drama to deal with. So I don't know how they're gonna pull that off. Her having a women's title shot at the same time having to deal with this drama on WrestleMania. So we'll see how that goes, but we'll
Yeah.
have to tune in to Raw and SmackDown in the coming weeks and see how they tie that in together. But
Tomorrow.
yeah, tomorrow's Raw. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
tomorrow. I mean, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen, but we have
mhm,
more to talk about. But this one, I think I said to you like at least a couple weeks ago, it had to be Naomi because I think they were
mhm.
going to do a turn on her, like she's going to do a heel turn. And again, as you said, she benefits from this. This had a lot of turns, twists and turns, and I'm just like, holy cow, what is going on? Right?
Yeah, that's great
They're not as
storytelling.
predictable. Yeah, they're not as predictable as they once were, and it's
No.
good. But I mean, holy guacamole! I mean, we
Yeah,
have
so
even
they
more to go for.
they open with that. Yeah, so Naomi's out of the match because Jade Cargill nearly killed her. I mean, she took the cage door and just slammed it into her. So it's like and
Hmm.
Bianca was in crying and like, what the fuck's going on? Let me out of here, So it's like
Right,
she couldn't protect Naomi because she's stuck in one of those pods. So it's like
right.
eventually she ended up winning the match, and and after the show during the press conference, she told the commentators like, I have to figure out what's going on with this first before I can focus on the women's title match at WrestleMania.
Hmm.
So they're going to, wrap this up probably or figure this out leading into WrestleMania. And this Raw, they have about what 8 weeks for WrestleMania
Oh
because
yeah,
it's
yeah. We
like
got plenty of time
mid-April.
for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like mid-April, so they have plenty of time to wrap that up, figure that out for WrestleMania mid-April. So not a big
Hmm.
deal. All right,
It was just
so this,
amazing that I was kind of right about. I mean, we both were kind of right about it because we're like, well, I don't think it was Liv Morgan and what is her name, Roxanne? No, not Roxanne. What
yeah,
is
no, no,
Raquel?
you good, yeah,
Raquel,
hmm
as Jim Cornette
hmm
says. Yeah, I just didn't feel like it was them because they don't benefit from that.
no,
Um,
they happened to be walking into the building right when they were taking her to the hospital. Doesn't mean she did it or
right.
they did it.
So Jane Cargill
mm-hmm.
came back and beat the crap out of Naomi. Not surprised there that Naomi's now going to be a heel.
Yeah, they're probably gonna turn her.
Yeah.
Because she's gonna have to explain why she attacked her, and
Hmm.
because last year's WrestleMania they won a six woman tag match against I think Damage Control, and
Hmm.
they were all best friends, which is why Naomi turning on her for jealous, probably because she wanted to be the tag team champion instead of Jade. That'd be my
Yes.
assumption on why she did it ultimately for
Yes.
her benefit, her career.
Right.
So yeah, so we'll see. I'm sure they'll
Hmm.
explain that in the coming weeks, but
Interesting. And I really hardly ever paid attention to that. I just kind of saw the end where Belair kind of like was flipping her hair and stuff that she won.
yeah.
But I really didn't pay attention. But I'm very interested in hearing what they're going to do with Naomi now that everyone knows it was her who attacked Jade,
hmm
not the other way
That's the
around.
assumption, yeah.
Yeah.
Or because Jay didn't say anything. It was like boom, 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 kill you, throw this cage door on you, and now you're out. You can't wrestle anymore. All
Hmm.
right. the next match on the card was a tag team match, which with Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus defeating Nia Jackson, Candice LeRae in 11 minutes and 40 seconds.
I mean, this was going to happen. I mean, it's
Mhm.
Trish Stratus's hometown. I didn't
Yeah.
really pay attention. I just saw at the end they were raising their hands in victory.
Yeah,
So,
they 1, 2, 3. They I think
yeah.
Tiffany picked up the pinfall. I remember correctly, as I wasn't
Okay.
paying much attention either. It was I thought Trish would pick up the pinfall because hey, she's from Toronto and like
I think
like
we
I'm
both called
arrogant,
this one. Yeah.
condescending legend. It's like yeah, let me get the 1, 2, 3. Even
Yeah.
though Tiffany probably needs it more, but she got the 1, 2, 3 to be fair. So
Mm-hmm.
she's not like Edge or fucking The Rock.
Cope.
Yeah, Edge refused to put anybody over, even in
Right.
WWE.
Right.
He won his last 3 matches in WWE, even though he probably shouldn't have won any of them. But
Wow.
but I'll digress on that one because I can get started on Cope. All right. The next match was the unsanctioned match between Kevin Owens defeating Sami Zayn in
Okay, this
27 minutes and
one
35 seconds. Go ahead.
I admit I was kind of feeling bad for Sami Zayn at this point. I was kind of like, "Come on, Sammy," and then I mean, I don't know why I was going for Sammy. Like Kevin Owens just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why. But I wanted him to win, and he did not end up winning. But you and I called this that we thought Randy Orton would come back either at the Royal Rumble or at Elimination Chamber, and here Randy Orton comes out and gets his revenge on Kevin Owens. So at least that was that.
Yeah,
And
that'll
Randy
lead.
he looks good.
He's jacked.
Yeah, he's really jacked.
Randy is fucking jacked.
He is ready for Kevin Owens. I think there's probably at WrestleMania, there's probably going to be a Randy Orton and Kevin Owens match.
Oh, no doubt there's going to be a match because
maybe no
Randy
holds barred. You know what I mean?
It'll have to be some type of gimmick because Kevin tried to end Randy's career, so Randy needs the leeway to get that revenge. So
absolutely,
it would have to be some sort of no disqualification match.
Yeah.
So yeah, the match itself, Sammy does a fantastic job as the underdog babyface. He'll sell to the point where you feel bad for him.
Sell, and I'm telling you what.
I mean, that he's perfect underdog babyface. It's like he's great at it.
He had me rooting for him. I was like, "Come on, Sammy!" And my friend's like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing." I'm just watching this over in the corner.
The thing with I'm gonna nitpick this because it kind of reminded me of an AEW garbage match with all the furniture setting up and all of the going into the crowd.
Did not
running
need to
around,
do the tables thing.
Fighting
it was
around
double
the crowd.
tables, I think, right?
They set up double tables, and Sammy did a spot to go through both of them off the top rope.
One match without fucking tables.
Kevin shoved him off and went through a couple tables.
Yeah.
Then later on, we got the barbed wire steel chair from Sammy. He pulled that out. I'm like, oh no, the barbed wire steel chair reminds me of AEW match.
Is that what that was? No wonder they were in pain. I'm like, what are they selling here?
It was a barbed wire. Sammy pulled out a barbed wire steel chair.
This is indie circuit bullshit.
Yeah.
Indie circuit wrestling. No, come on, guys.
And they started hitting each other with that. And then they threw each other. I think Sammy threw Kevin through the chairs with the barbed wire chair on top. I mean, it got to be too much, I thought. Even though I understood the context, like they hated each other and Kevin tried to end Sammy's career. So Sammy's going to try to do the same to him. But come on. I mean, it got to be like, and they're kicking out of everything. It's like, nothing. They're not really. Sammy sold most of the match. Kevin didn't really do much selling because he was a dominant.
I couldn't figure. Are you trying to? I mean, he's not a monster. I mean, he's a fighter, but he's not a monster. I could see the no selling if like Kevin Owens was taller and was like savage like Braun Strowman. But I mean, come on, this was getting old. I'm like, just end the.
It got to be too much. It went 27 minutes and 35 seconds. So according to
I was sitting at that table going when Randy Orton came out, I went, holy shit, I can't wait to tell Angel.
Yeah, Randy.
Oh, we were so right.
So the match, I don't remember how Sammy beat Kevin beat Sammy, but Kevin needed a win. I mean, he was beat like 2 or 3 times by Cody for the championship. He
I
needed a
think he
win.
did
So
that inadverted pile driver
yeah, he beat him somehow.
twice.
Then
I think it was twice.
1, 2,
Because Sammy came
3,
out the first time.
and then Kevin tried to leave, but he eventually came back. He pulled up the mat, so he was going to. I think Alex is here already. Yeah, he is. Okay, yeah.
Alex, it's my little brother.
So,
Hello, little bro.
hey.
I
Yeah,
think
we're
so.
just getting to that part, So let me just finish this thought real quick.
I was
Then
just finishing the NASCAR race and I was getting dressed. So yeah.
okay, so then Kevin pulled up the mat. He's about to power driver Sammy again on the concrete. Then Randy's music starts playing. The fans go nuts. Kevin's like,
And there wasn't blood in that match, right?
no.
There was a little tiny bit. That's it.
Because I was gonna get on Triple H for like, why not include blood? My cat's blocking this.
We see a little bit.
I was gonna get on Triple H, like, why did you not put blood in that match? But then after I see Cody Rhodes bleeding, I'm like, okay, I understand.
Yeah. They wanted
And
to
we're
save the
getting to
blood
that.
for what mattered. Because too much blood on a show could like devalue what really mattered.
It's like, kind of like, oh, why did you do that twice?
Yeah.
It's too much.
So eventually Randy comes out. They fight for a while. Randy's about to do the punt, if you remember from the 2008-2009 Randy Orton. And then eventually he runs, and then all the security grab him and stop him, and Kevin slinks away.
Let him go.
He slinks away like the heel he is, and then Randy RKO's all the security guards and does this, and that's the end of the segment. So I thought it was great. I'm looking forward to that match at WrestleMania. So
I was like screaming, let him go.
He's about to do the punt. Unfortunately, they didn't let him do the punt. He'll probably do it at WrestleMania, though.
Probably at WrestleMania.
Did you think it was Naomi who attacked Jake Cargill? Or
Yes,
we did.
I think they're gonna. Yes, we had.
We predicted that 2 weeks ago.
Because I was kind of like, how do you know it wasn't Naomi? Because she benefited from it. So, and then Angel and I got into conversation.
Jake's the heel and Naomi's the face, right? That wouldn't make sense, right?
No, Naomi would be the heel. She's the one that attacked
Naomi
Jake
would be the
Cargill.
heel because
it looked like Jake was the heel in that section.
Oh no, she nearly killed her. It looks like it was brutal. It was like, but if Naomi attacked her and took her out for 3 months, you understand why she'd be angry. So
it's kind of like that. Who ran over Stone Cold, and it was Rikishi with help of Triple H.
Oh, I hated
Remember that.
I hated it ended up being Rikishi.
Yeah.
Your mouth, you thumb wearing fatty.
I hated that it was Rikishi because like what?
I did it for you, Rock. I did it for you.
The one that benefited was The Rock because he became WWF champion and he became the top guy while Steve was gone. So I thought it might have been The Rock, but as all of a sudden they revealed to be Rikishi. I'm like, what? That
I know that didn't make any sense.
And even Triple H manipulated Rikishi into doing it. Even then, that made no sense. It was shitty. And he's like, but I digress. So the main event of the evening was the Elimination Chamber match for a title shot against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. John Cena defeated CM Punk, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and Seth freaking Rollins.
I am so glad Logan Paul lost. I couldn't wait till that dude was eliminated. But what really shocked me was Drew actually wasn't he like one of the first ones out?
He was the first one out.
He got rolled out.
He got rolled up by Damian Priest.
Right
Behind.
And that's
rolled up in an Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah, I know, right? He's gonna come out on Raw and bitch about it.
He did on Twitter. He's like
could have been me.
He did on Twitter. He was like something, and then he said, I got beat by a roll up again. So even he like kind of joked about it, but so he talked about Cena turning heel, which we'll get to in a moment. Something else, and then he's like, I got beat by a roll up again. So like one of those things. He kind of made fun of himself there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Drew was the first one out. Then it was Logan. Or no, then it was
Like,
Damien, I think, and then Logan. Hold on, it's listed here who went
hey,
out
as long
first.
as Logan Paul loses, I don't care. I don't want that guy to have a
Okay,
push.
so Drew was eliminated first, then Damian Priest, then Logan Paul, then Seth Rollins, then CM Punk for Cena to win.
How did Seth Rollins get beat? Does it say? Did he just
Did I?
climb out of the chamber and that's it?
No. He Punk hit his finish to go to sleep and just a couple times and pinned him.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, is Seth Rollins the heel now?
He might be.
He goes in between, yeah.
Especially what he did to CM Punk at the end. So we'll get there. We'll get there now. Anyways, CM Punk pinned Seth Rollins with his finish 1, 2, 3. You don't see him again. I thought he was gone. They don't film him again. They don't do anything again. He just stays in the cage, but we don't know that. We don't know that. And Cena and Punk have a match for about 5
How
minutes.
did he get out? How did he at the end? How did he get out?
Because
wasn't he standing outside the cage looking at Punk and teasing him?
Yeah, eventually he did. He left after he did.
Okay.
So Seth Rollins in the cage the whole time. We don't know because WWE does not film that. The crowd at home the crowd in the arena knows because they're looking at him, but we don't know at home. So they do have their match, blah blah blah. I don't remember the details. CM Punk, I think Cena shoves Punk. He ends up in the ropes in position, and Seth Rollins just hits his curb stomp right on the floor there.
Yeah.
After Seth Rollins curb stomped Rollins, and then Cena quickly took advantage.
Yeah.
It kind of
he did the FU
STF.
STF
finish.
What I was thinking was the way he responded. It was kind of reminiscent to when Cena and Punk had their Money in the Bank match for the title, and then when Big Show was interfering, and CM Punk was going to turn heel. CM Punk didn't get angry. Big Show's like, "Oh, I can take advantage of it." You know what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah. It was kind of a drawback.
Cena was like, "I didn't forget about that." Do you think that was maybe?
Yeah, that could have been it, or it could have been he was turning heel and didn't care anymore. So they're like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna beat him." Who cares? Here, my finish. And Punk tried to get out. He tried and eventually just went out. And the referee called for the bell, and that's how Cena won and advanced to WrestleMania to face Cody.
And I was pissed. I was like, "Damn it! I wanted CM Punk to win."
So most likely, it'll end up being CM Punk will end up doing something with Seth Rollins and maybe Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
In the video in the WWE channel, it didn't turn black and white for the blood, nor did it stop when the belt hit Rhodes. Like they used to
Cody.
do that.
No. I saw it on YouTube. I had to rewatch it a few times just to understand what was going on because I was shell shocked. We'll get to that. So the match is over. They show a bunch of replays, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, the next shot, Cena's in the ring, standing there, celebrating with the cage up. So I'm like, okay, so what's going to happen next? And immediately, Cody Rhodes music plays. He comes out to do the face-off with Cena for their match at WrestleMania. I'm like, okay, so they start facing off, and all of a sudden, here comes The Rock in his music. I'm like, okay, why is Cena still there? Why doesn't he just leave? And I'm like, I know for a fact, my brain knows that Cena's going to make this turn and they're going to do this. But at the same, my heart's like, they're never going to do it. They're not going to turn their John Cena heel. I mean, they had 20 years to do it and they haven't done it. So something else is going to happen here.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, he did make a wish right before the show.
Mm-hmm.
He did at least 2 or 3 make-a-wishes right before the show. So it's like, okay, these are my last make-a-wishes for a while. So let me just do this one more time, So he's still there, and The Rock's music plays. Here comes some skinny black rapper for some reason. He's out there.
No, that's the guy who works with The Rock, right?
Yeah, the rapper. Yeah. Travis Scott, I think his name is.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Skinny black rapper is out there smoking weed as he did the last time he was on WWE television. Because he was there during the Netflix debut with Jey Uso, and he's smoking a doobie then too. But then here comes The Rock. They come to the ring together. I'm like, why is this skinny rapper coming to the ring with him? Blah, blah, blah. Then eventually The Rock gets in the ring, and they all got mics. And The Rock looks at Cody and is like, so, Cody, what are you going to do? If you want to sell your soul to me, I'll do this, and you're going to hug me, and you're going to be my champion. So what's it gonna be, Cody? So they're all like this, and Cody milks it forever. See, he looks at Cena. Cena's like, "Don't do it," and the fans are like, "Don't do it." And eventually, after a few minutes, because they milk it for a while, I hate when WWE milk stuff way too much. Let's fast forward past that. Eventually, Cody tells him, "Oh, here's the thing, Rock. I don't have a soul to sell because I gave it to a long time ago to this business and to the fans
and to the fans. I'm the people's.
Yeah,
I gave it to the people. Yeah,
I gave it to the people." So then eventually he says, "You know what that means, right? Right? You know what that means, Rock, right?" Or something like that. Then he says, "You can go fuck yourself."
Hey, Rock,
And
go fuck yourself.
yeah. And he's like, "Whoa!" It got a big pop. The fans went nuts.
Totally big pop. Everyone's like, "Whoa! What did he just say?" He said the F-bomb.
Yeah, they dropped the F-bomb there. The Rock is shocked. Cena's celebrating, jumping around like a little kid, you know. The fans are going nuts.
And he hugs Cody, and I'm like, oh boy, something bad's going to happen here.
Yeah.
And then
like you knew it was going to happen. It's just that I didn't believe it until I saw
that thing's
it.
going to go viral for a long time.
Yeah,
So,
because it's this look, and Cena has this look on his face, and you can see it's coming. Yeah. And then the Rock just kind of does this.
So he eventually hugs Cody. He gives that look to the Rock, like that Manchurian Candidate, no emotion look. That's what it reminds me of.
And the Rock does this.
And Rock does. And Cena agrees to it and kicks him in the balls, like straight up, like, oh shit.
Yeah, shit.
He kicked him right in the balls.
It's always the low blow, isn't it?
Yeah,
that signifies a heel turn, because a babyface would never blatantly kick you in the balls like that.
Not blatantly, no.
Yeah. So it's like, boom, low blow.
And when I'm watching this on X, I'm like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. What?
Mm-hmm.
We thought it was gonna be a babyface versus babyface match.
Yeah, that's the safe pick. That's safe. The WWE is like, because a lot of the IWC
Cena title number 17 at WrestleMania. They might as well do it.
They might still do it.
They have to do it at this point.
What I was thinking is, and what I said to Angel later, I said they could be doing this heel turn just to turn him babyface right before he leaves. So, like his whatever last match he has this year, it'll be, I know the error of my ways.
Faking it, having the suit on. Remember Mark Henry?
Yeah.
So that he can do Make-A-Wish if he wanted to when he leaves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he wouldn't be a heel.
Like, you might as well. He has to get this belt at this point, because then he can play. They can play keep away with Cody, because I think there's going to be a stable here. There's not going to be just Cena and Rock. There's going to be at least 2 other guys, and I'll explain why. Because I went back
because that's how Vince did it when they did the Austin versus McMahon. It wasn't just McFoley; it was Kane, Undertaker.
So there's going to be at least 2 other guys in this stable, other than just John Cena and Rock.
I'm thinking Drew, maybe.
Because they have to play keep away from the belt with Cody for at least until the end of the year. At least until the end of the year.
I hope they go back.
I hope not, Paul.
Basic economics theme now. They can't keep playing the time.
No. Cena has to have something new cooked up, because there's no way that he can do that theme right now, at least. But
also, John is the third man.
There were a lot of people comparing this when Hogan turned in '96
on X. They were like, "What was better, the Hogan turn or the John Cena turn?"
The Hogan turn, I understand, but what about when Stone Cold also did as well? I mean, that's also very similar.
Yeah, but nobody wanted to boo Stone Cold.
Nobody wanted to boo Austin, though.
No one wanted to do that.
The situation was similar.
Yeah,
very similar. Yes.
Yeah, that was.
Everyone was shocked and like. When
Austin shook McMahon's hand, that was the end of the Attitude Era there, because it was done. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people stopped watching, and the ratings went pretty low after that.
2001
compared to where they were
here for WAF.
So, to me, I thought the Hogan heel turn was a bit better, because he didn't have a skinny black rapper hanging around there for no reason.
Yeah, what the hell was that? That must be like the Rock's like.
That was the Rock probably insisting on that. Yeah, that was the Rock probably insisting that he wanted him there for some reason.
Right.
So
I didn't
eventually,
like Michael Cole's commentary when I was all. He sounded like whiny. His lines didn't sound very good, if you know what I mean. I don't know.
I don't.
Didn't hear.
I don't think Michael Cole. I don't think they knew. I don't think they knew, because Triple H said in the press conference it was need to know. So only people that knew were Triple H, of course, Cena, the guys in the ring knew, and maybe some of the production crew. Nobody else really knew. Triple H kept it to himself, and they kept it to themselves. So
wow, so they wanted that wow factor from the people, then.
Even the commentators, they wanted.
Even the commentators,
and now both The Rock and John Cena are going to be calling Mama Rose.
Oh no!
Yeah. So that's why I don't think they knew. So the commentary didn't seem like that scripted. It was more like. What was in their heart at that moment. And that's why Michael Cole came off like that, I thought. And Wade Barrett and Pat McAfee were kind of needling Michael Cole because he's friends with John Cena in real life. So, like, this is your boy, Michael Cole.
He's your boy.
He's your boy. What happened, Michael Cole?
And Michael Cole's like, oh, what? This ain't me. I didn't do it.
Yeah, he's like, he's going to do this shit. It's not right.
Imagine if JR was doing commentary. It's like, Cena, you son of a bitch. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
JR probably would have been better to sell that. JR probably would have sold the heel turn a little better, but to me, I probably would have clued in the commentators like, hey, look, we're going to do this tonight. Be prepared. Don't. So it didn't even clue in the commentators. So yeah. So
what was funny is that, a lot of people, including myself, were tweeting, we got to see the heel turn before GJ6. And Cena even posted a pic of GJ6
yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah, so he saw it. He saw the meme, obviously, and like, I'm just going to post this. Yeah, it is pretty funny. So the beatdown was really good. The beatdown was really good, I thought, from Cena. And at one point, you can hear, like, when Cena clocked him in the head with the belt both times, you heard it. Like, right? Yeah. You heard that smack. It was like, oh, wow, he really did hit him in the head. It was not fake, And then Cody bladed. I'm not sure where, but he's bleeding around here. So the second time he hit him, the cameras were on Cena and like Rock. So Cody's down there probably blading. So he bladed here. And then after that, eventually Cena ripped off his shirt. Cena and the rapper, whatever, hold him down while Rocky hits him with the
strap.
With the strap, yeah. That said Cody's soul on it. So like,
well, and can I mentioned to you, Angel, that I saw someone parodied that, and it actually said instead of Cody's soul, it said Cody's dick.
yeah. You told me about that. Like,
that was on X. I was just like, I don't know. I've never seen Cody's dick.
So
I'm sure you would love to those stuff.
I don't know.
Bear with me 1 second.
No, I when I saw that, I was kind of like, okay, I gotta watch SmackDown. So I'm at work. We had a slow moment at work, right? And I'm just like watching it, and all of a sudden The Rock pulls this out, and he shows the date of it was literally Dusty's death. Yeah. He's like, this is what broke my heart. Dusty, no offense, should have gone to a doctor if they had caught what he had. He had some kind of infection that ended up killing him. And if he had gone to a doctor earlier, but his wife said he didn't like doctors.
Yeah, so the reason why I think there's going to be 2 more guys in this stable, because I went back and watched the Bad Blood return, the original return when Rock came back, and we talked about it. It's like, why did he come back for no reason and walk away? Now it kind of makes sense, because Rock came out, stood there, Roman Reigns and Cody in the ring, looking at each other. Rock does... and kind of walked away. So he's sign language. So 1, 2, 3. This is how Cena, comes into the ring like this.
Yeah.
So he does this. So with his fingers like this, he does 1, 2, not 3 like this, but 3 like that. So they were telling us, that was going to happen. Yeah. So, and then, and then he does this, and then he does kind of like that. It was kind of so I was starting to think throughout the day that the invitation was never for Cody. It was for Cena. And we kind of didn't know that because we didn't get the whole picture until last night.
Even though Rock was really milking it for Cody, because I was telling my little brother that literally I watched SmackDown and I had said to you, Angel, in the messages, I was like, Rock is trying way too hard. He got him a truck. He got him, this belt, with Cody's soul on it, and then the
private locker room from SmackDown.
Private locker room with all.
He was trying too hard.
And there's R-Truth, like, man, can you ask him for this and can you ask him for that? And I'm like,
oh yeah, he's eating all the food. He's like, Mackenzie says John Cena face inspection is like the animated character turned into the dark side.
It kind of was. It was, but I think doesn't he play a bad guy in this movie or show he's in?
Yeah. In the Suicide Squad film from a few years ago, he was part of the team. He plays a good guy, then he turned a bad guy later on. So
okay.
I thought it reminded me like a Manchurian Candidate. If you go watch those movies, they're like when they kill the president, soulless and
Which one, the original or the remake?
The remake was in Denzel. Was with Denzel Washington, yeah. And the original, I saw both, so I'm thinking of both of them. So when I mentioned Manchurian Candidate, but yeah, eventually. Oh, also I forgot to mention that rapper stiff Cody right in the face with a punch. You see that? You just stiff Cody.
And I was listening to Jim Cornette, and they were they didn't know how to think about The Rock either. In fact, Brian, I told you, Angel, Brian Last thinks that on not this past SmackDown, but the SmackDown before that, he was drunk when he was doing that. Oh, be my champion! I want your soul. They actually thought, because they didn't know. They're like, is he a freaking baby face? Is he a heel? He was going back and forth. The promo wasn't making sense. Even Cody was confused at one point.
Yeah, I was confused. It's like,
and Brian Last was like, could he be on the sauce? Drunk, obviously.
Rock has his own tequila company, so he's probably drinking his own tequila there backstage, and he's like, I want your soul, Cody. And he did like,
and then Cody's like, this.
What? And then he just does this to his face and kind of like walks away.
Yeah, and they mentioned, last year they were bitter enemies, and now Rock's kissing him on the cheek.
I think it, and then the January appearance on Netflix, that random babyface turn wasn't really random. It was a manipulation tactic by the final boss to manipulate Cody to bring his guard down, and then come out last week or 2 weeks ago with that offer to sell his soul to him. And that if once you see the whole picture, it kind of makes sense, but even then, it's like, wow, they really went all in on this story, and Rock went all in too.
25 minutes long, that promo where he's like, give me your soul, because of course he was getting the crowd into it, and then he was calling the crowd, syphilis. I'll knock the syphilis right off your face. I laughed when he said that to a crowd. I'm like, what is it with wrestlers yelling back at fans?
Yeah, he was trying too hard to be a heel. I said last week he was coming off kind of cringe with that stuff, but yeah, I mean.
And then he did it again. He did it with the presents. He was getting all the presents for Cody Rhodes, and I was like, you're trying way too hard, Rock. You get him a brand. It was a beautiful truck, no doubt about that. It was beautiful. But and then he's like, that message to him, he's praising him, kissing his ass, sucking his dick, whatever. I'm just like, you're trying too hard, Rock.
The intention was never for Cody. It was an indirect way to address Cena, but nobody knew at the time, because doing this at the end of the Bad Blood pay-per-view it didn't tell me at the time, but once I looked back at it, it's like, oh yeah, okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did 1, 2, not 3 like that. He did 3 like that. So it was like, then at last night he did, when Cena gave him that blank heel expression, Rocky did 1, 2, 1, 2, and then me, like, join me. He did. So that tells me there's 2 more guys coming into this table, because first he did 3. Now he does 2. So there's 2 more guys joining the stable to go against Cody.
I have a feeling one is literally going to be Drew McIntyre. Because he's tired of being screwed. He's been bitching about it for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. That's an obvious choice, but I'm hoping one of the guys are an up and coming guy. Not have him get the rub.
Please
I don't think I wasn't thinking him, but an up and coming guy that's just got to the roster. Maybe
I was thinking maybe Seth Rollins.
Maybe.
Maybe Damian Priest.
But I don't think he has anything against Cody. Seth Rollins would, because last year he helped him win the title. He sacrificed his body for him because he had that blown out knee, and he still worked at WrestleMania.
See, I think it's Seth Rollins. Because Seth Rollins was watching the whole CM Punk Cena thing. So I think that has something to do, because we couldn't see Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins was still there. I think it's Seth Rollins. I think it's going to be Drew and Seth.
So The Rock is looking for 2 more souls, basically, because he already got Cena. Cena agreed to turn heel and join him, so he does the then 1, 2, and he does this, join me, and then Cena then kicks him in the nuts, and off we go.
Off we go.
It reminded me of an old school Mid-South wrestling or Crockett beatdown. What they did to Dusty, what the Four Horsemen did to Dusty all the time, just beat the crap out of him.
Yeah,
that's what it reminded me of. I'm sure Cody masterminded that ass beating, because do what they used to do. My dad, what the Four Horsemen used to do with my dad. It'll work. It'll get over.
Remember the cage where they people were trying to actually get in, and the heels could not get out of this cage because they were beating the crap out of Dusty. Yes, that's what this is.
Yeah, that's where the only thing is you didn't see fans trying to jump in and get in the ring, but
no, but you did see a lot of shocked faces. They were like, "Oh wait, what?"
Yeah, they pulled the trigger on the John Cena. They pulled the trigger on the John Cena heel turn on his final year. So I didn't think they would. I did not believe that they would, because it's his final year of his career. They're gonna want him to go out as a uber babyface the way it was, and it took a lot of balls to do this. To turn him in his final year. Respect to the WWE for pulling that trigger, and for Cena for willing to do it too. Because it took, for example, you want to compare him to Hogan. Hogan refused to turn heel multiple times. Multiple times. The only reason why he did it because he realized how over the NWO was going to be. So it's well, I'll do it, brother.
Well, right, and he failed to see that Hulkamania. How can we miss you if you don't go away? It was dead. It was done. He had lived that gimmick many, many years, and even in WWE or WWF, as we know it, even back then, it's still to this.
It was dead by the early 90s.
Right. So the 80s is when it first started. So he had it by 84-ish, 84, 85. And then I say about 1990, well, 1990 when he lost to the Warrior at WrestleMania 6, I think it was done.
He was. And in fact, Bruce Pritchard said that was supposed to be his final match. That he wasn't going to come back again. He's going to go do movies and television series, and that was his last match. Instead, less than a year later, he was back and immediately politic and become WWF champion again. So it was and then it got old by 92. If you remember at the Royal Rumble 92, Hogan gets eliminated by Sid, and the fans cheered. They did not boo; they cheered. That's how
Hulkamania was dwindling anyway. It made it come back in 93, but people were sick of Hogan.
Yeah, people were sick of him, but people were not sick of Cena. This is like a. I think it's gonna work because Cena is a good performer, and so is Rock. Even you may not like him personally, but he can pull off this final boss gimmick.
Mic drop in the press conference.
Yeah, mic drop.
Yeah. We'll get to the press conference. But
what did I say? Mic drop.
Yeah. So Cena does the heel. Cena eventually they leave the ring. Cena throws the belt on Cody. They all stare back like heels. The rapper does not belong there. I don't know what he was doing there. I mean, it
Just
should
The
have
Rock's
been just
friend.
Cena and Rock. And at one point, before let's go back to the beatdown, the rapper was kind of like rubbing his stomach, like he had the munchies or something, waiting. Like, I'm gonna go backstage and I'm gonna eat all the burgers and chicken and whatever is there in the catering because I'm hungry. And he had the munchies. He's like doing this. Like, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, really.
Like, you're ruining this incredible moment
It's
here.
like Big Show when he ate the special sauce, Eddie Guerrero's.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he
jeez.
might have been constipated. I don't know, but he was rubbing his stomach for some reason while the beatdown was happening. So Cody's bleeding. Eventually, Michael Cole gets in the ring right before the show ends to check on Cody, and that was it. And then the post show is happening, and they're still in the ring. It was Cody, the commentators, and that was it. And eventually, they go back with it. He goes back with McAfee and Wade Barrett and Michael Cole, and Cody starts looking his face like, "What the fuck just happened?" Again, he has that "what the fuck" face on him.
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened face. So the press conference comes. Eventually, Cena comes out, sits there, just grabs the mic, walks away. Doesn't take any questions, doesn't say anything. He just walks away. By the way, it's brilliant because what he did in the ring did his talking for him. Like, he doesn't
that
need
rapper
to say
hit
anything.
Cody right in the head, and it's like,
Yeah, he stiffed
dude,
him.
did you seriously just smack the crap out of him? For real?
Yeah,
you
no,
do
no.
know that this is supposed to be,
No, it wasn't just a smack. He punched him in the face
from Nia Jax.
Oh, geez.
He got him right there, right in the orbital. I'm like, if he breaks Cody orbital, this idiot, he could ruin WrestleMania,
Yeah, big time.
Luckily, he seems to be fine, and this guy's 150 pounds soaking wet, so I don't think you have to worry about, having his orbital broken. But all right, I'm sorry, McKesney. I wonder what John Cena's ring attire is going to be like with his heel gimmick. Yeah, he has to change his ring attire.
Now.
He has to change his ring attire because he can't come out with the same shorts and shirt
He wears a suit now or something.
Yeah,
Right.
he has to be. He has to have new ring attire, new music, new everything. Because it's a different character. It's not the happy-go-lucky, hustle, loyalty, and respect John Cena. It's going to be different now. So he needs to. It needs to be new.
Bring back basic thugonomics.
Right. The only thing I really remember from that was literally just Kurt Angle saying, "Wow, John, I actually found someone who's whiter than I am." And I laughed my ass off when he said that.
It's a good line.
Kurt Angle played as John Cena.
Yeah, that was a good line by Kurt Angle. Yeah, so eventually then The Rock comes out, and for whatever reason, The Rock loves to hear his voice. He spends like 20 minutes talking about the angle. Yep. And how the angle came about and when what happened, and like, why are you talking about this now? Why don't you wait until a year later if you want to talk about it? Wait until the angle's over, then talk about how it came about.
Because as Jim Cornette said, they can't make it believable anymore. Now they just pissed off the smart fans. Pretty much is what they did.
Yeah,
but
because
the ones who love modern wrestling, they won't care.
No, because they're used to this. They're used to like in AEW, they do this all the time. It's like they do an angle, a great angle, which it isn't, and then they all run their mouths about it in the press conference and how it came about. It's like, no, shut the fuck up. The Rock did the same thing essentially. It's like, come on, right. Rock. I just ignored most of it. I didn't after I went to bed, but he came on pretty late. But yeah, that's what he did. I'm like, oh, come on. Cena said nothing. Cody wasn't there, obviously. He had to come out there and sit there for 20 minutes, running his mouth about how the angle came about and how much of a super genius he is for, masterminding the angle or whatever. Wow. Meanwhile, just ignoring Triple H and his role and everybody else, it was basically him that masterminded the angle, basically, which is good. I mean, it's not a bad. I'm intrigued. I want to see what happens at WrestleMania, but. You don't have to claim that it's your idea, and very little, and there wasn't very little input from others. Like, it just puts yourself over at the press conference. It's like, all right, Rock, just shut up. I mean, I don't want to hear that right now. I want to enjoy the angle for what it is, and then a year later, if you want to talk about how it came about, I'm fine with it. Like, whatever. Mm-hmm. But now, right when you shoot an angle, you just turn around and This is basically an old school territory day angle where all the a great baby face turn heel on somebody else, beat the shit out of them, and then they leave, and you have to figure out what happened on TV next week. No, they do that, and then The Rock immediately blabbermouths about how they did it. So it's like,
here we go again.
Yeah, so and like you said, today the fans are going to care today because they're like, oh yeah, this is a television show. It's not professional wrestling. It's a TV show. We want to know what's going on behind the scenes and how they did it or why they did it. So for me, it's not a TV show. It's professional wrestling. It's it's
It is what
different.
it is.
It's
yeah.
different than what it's supposed to be. Different than what a normal television show is supposed to be.
And Steve and I agree. That's what we were talking about, though. I don't think it's going to be Punk. I don't think it's going to be Punk.
Were just talking about
Punk
that,
is going to. I think Punk might actually help Cody, but I would be very, very shocked if it was Punk. I'm thinking like maybe Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Because Drew McIntyre has been coming out, like I said, and been bitching, oh, well, I've been screwed around, but he's acting like Punk. So when Damian Priest said on that go away, because everyone came in and Logan Paul's like, isn't it funny that Cena's not here? No, it's not funny, you fucking idiot. He is there. He just didn't come out. But
pray for this and it happened.
yeah. But I thought it was funny when Priest kind of said, you really are obsessed with CM Punk. And I mean, he was sitting on the table, like Punk would sit on I don't know if he would sit on the announce table, but I know he would sit cross-legged on the ramp. And I'm like, well, that's not a ramp, but okay, sure. So I'm watching Drew McIntyre just sit on the thing like CM Punk, and what Damian Priest was saying kind of made sense. I mean, Drew has been very obsessed with Punk.
No.
Even making like derogatory, messages when Punk wasn't even in the company. So, I mean, I kind of agree with Damian Priest on that one. You're a little bit obsessed there, dearie.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it just, so there's two other guys coming to this stable to oppose
I
Cody.
say it's McIntyre and Rollins.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. Or I'm hoping that one of the guys, it's like a younger guy to elevate, like to get the main event rub. Like a Braun Breaker or something like that. If he joins the stable.
It could happen. It could happen.
Yeah, they need, if they want to elevate somebody, they could, one of the two guys to sell their souls, to The Rock. And Braun Breaker is like desperate for like a main event slot to be used more because throughout the weeks he's been angry at Adam Pearce for not being on television every week. Instead, he's on television 1 week, he's gone for 3 weeks, he's back in the crowd 1 week, he's gone for 2 weeks. It's like he's the Intercontinental Champion not being used, basically.
Yeah, I know. I get really upset because I have a shirt on. Go Braun. Yeah, I agree. No, this is. I mean, if you're going to have an Intercontinental Champion, and that's why, like someone said on X, oh, this is so boring. This is a boring Intercontinental Champion run. I said, well, blame the damn writers because they want to write him right off of TV. They don't have him. No one made a match. Wasn't there a number one contender? Was it what's his name? Shit, now I can't remember his name.
Sheamus?
No.
I think Sheamus became number one contender and they did nothing with that.
Well, they had a couple of matches. No, not Lorga. What the hell is the guy's name? The one with Gunther, and then he
Luke Kaiser.
Yeah, Kaiser. Yeah, I thought Kaiser because they had a triple threat match with Sheamus and someone else and Kaiser. So I thought Kaiser was the number one contender.
Yeah, it looks
he actually beat.
It looks like they kind of programming him with Penta now, and the other guy, I'm forgetting his name, Pete Dunne. They're programming him with Penta, and AJ Styles AJ Styles is like going to work with Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title at some point because they're kind of they kind of had a face off and they're going to feud. Yeah. So
Kaiser roll.
I hope. See, again, Cena has to get this belt at WrestleMania because the heel turn would be pointless if he just loses to Cody at WrestleMania.
We do not need another Roman Reigns title reign again.
Well, no, I mean, at the end of the year, Cena's done. So
yeah, so that's why him getting that 18th title run, I'm fine with it because, So Cody's at WrestleMania. He's going to be a champion for a full calendar year, because he won it at last year's WrestleMania. So we don't need another 3.5-year title run that Roman Reigns got recently. So him dropping it at SummerSlam, WrestleMania, I'm fine with, because then that way Cody can chase.
Why is WrestleMania happening in the middle of April now?
Yeah, that's what we asked, because it's happening literally the second night is happening on my birthday, and my birthday is Easter.
Yeah, it's April 20th.
Yeah.
So that's the latest WrestleMania has ever taken place. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's always been the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's one of those things that TKO decided to do. So the new ownership, they changed a lot of shit. So
because 2026 is going to be the 11th and 12th. That's still too far out.
And like I mentioned before, they have to go to the this whatever the dome's called again. They have to go to that
Superdome
again for
Superdome.
Or as Hogan said, the Silver Dome.
Superdome, yeah. They have to go to that yet again.
The silver.
Like, come on.
It's good to be back in the Silver Dome. Even Stone Cold was making fun of it.
The Silver Dome today is an Amazon huge warehouse today. If you go to the Silver Dome, where it used to be, now it's an Amazon warehouse, a massive one.
Well, they were just making fun of that because that was a Hogan blooper.
Yeah. So, Cody has to lose his belt at Mania. Of course, they'll have to protect him, and it has to be 4 or 5 guys beating on Cody in order to lose to Cena. I'm not saying it has to be clean. It's not going to be clean. They got to protect their top babyface now.
Who's Cody? It can't just be a singles match. It's got to be some sort of match that doesn't involve disqualification or count out. So that's what I
Yes, I'm saying it has to be no DQ, something. And The Rock's the final boss, and he's the boss. So even if it's a regular match, you could say no disqualification halfway through. Like, is Cena struggling? Cody about to beat him. You can get on the mic and say, "Oh yeah, this match is no disqualification, by the way." Mm-hmm. And that's when all the Rock
what Vince did with Austin versus McMahon.
They announced no disqualification at the last second.
No, that's what Austin, that's what Vince McMahon did during the Austin McMahon feud. I think it was with Mick Foley. He would say, "Oh, by the way, this is no call. This is no disqualification." Then it was no false count anywhere. No holds barred or whatever.
Yeah, like what? I mean, just out of nowhere, changing it to no DQ.
This is literally it's the modern version of the Austin versus McMahon. The Rock is now the McMahon, and someone has to be the Rock, someone has to be Triple H, someone has to be, So I'm thinking Drew and Rollins are going to be those people. Undertaker, Kane.
I'm hoping one of the spots.
I don't get it.
So Steven says Cody losing the title at Mania and Cody gets it back by SummerSlam. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, and then he could turn John Cena back, and Cena would be like, I've seen the error of my ways. I was so wrong. Just like they kind of did with Mick Foley. Mick Foley was kind of, the champion, the corporate champion. And then when he was used up, they turned to The Rock. So, and then Mick Foley became a babyface. So I think what they're going to do is kind of like that. This is like like I said, the modern version of Austin versus McMahon. You watch.
You're kind of ripping that off. Bruce Brown, the weather could be a factor in why they changed it, but it's Vegas. I understand your point that maybe later in April the weather would be better, but it's Vegas. It doesn't rain over there or snow that often. It doesn't even snow,
What does it matter?
And it's inside. So it's in the football stadium of the Raiders.
What delaying it by 20 days? What is that going to change? How many days it is?
I just know the second night is on my birthday.
If it was like in, let's say, MetLife Stadium here in New Jersey, that could make sense because later in April it gets warmer. Yeah. The beginning of April up here is freezing, so it's still pretty cold. So.
Well, and they're going to have 2 nights of SummerSlam now too. 2 nights of SummerSlam. So I mean, you're going to have it at the end of August, obviously, because that's your birthday.
WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble, they take place in the baseball or football stadiums now. Why doesn't Survivor Series do the same thing? Because that's
I have no idea.
Survivor Series took place in, I think, Vancouver last year. And their NBA, or not an NBA stadium, but what used to be an NBA stadium. So I don't know why Survivor Series doesn't take place in a football stadium. That's interesting. The only thing about Survivor Series, I hate their war games. The version of their war game, their war games version's awful.
Yeah, we talked.
Yeah, you can't combine them. You either have war games or you have Survivor Series. You can't combine them. That's what I was saying.
It's like when they called it WrestleMania Backlash. Remember?
Oh, that's terrible.
WrestleMania Backlash?
Yeah, it was
a few years ago. That was a Vince thing. WrestleMania Backlash was the next pay-per-view because Vince was basically out of ideas and fuck, pal. I mean, WrestleMania. Let's call it WrestleMania Backlash. More people will watch it because they might be stupid enough to believe it's WrestleMania again.
Right. Well, Steven, if that happens, I will not watch the first night because the first night's going to be the Women's Royal Rumble, and I have no desire to watch a Women's Royal Rumble.
I think
next
year.
Remember for 2018, they originally called it the Fabulous Moolah Royal Rumble or whatever it was.
That was.
Then they also have like they had something called the Andre the Giant Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but that was years back. But I'm talking about for 2018. It was when they first happened. It was originally called the
Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal.
Yeah,
but then
eventually they were so out of touch. They didn't realize fans would get criticized because of how Moolah treated their.
Yeah, because the Dark Side documentary had just come out about Moolah. Yeah. So they were out at Vince was like, call it the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal, pal. Oh, it turns out people know about her? Shit. Okay, this is cancel it, and call it Battle Royal.
Just call the Royal Rumble, yeah. Because they tried to do the same thing with Andre, only I don't know why they changed it.
Because I knew Vince, I'm sure Vince knew about Fabulous Moolah and how horrible person she was. So
yeah, but Andre wasn't.
Andre was he was great. Yeah, nobody has a bad word about Andre back in territory days.
Unless you pissed him off and messed with him or made fun of him or laughed at him, then yeah, I mean he was a gentle giant. He'd do anything for you. He loved women. He loved beer. I mean
he was in the Princess Bride.
Yeah. Andre, apparently, according to a lot of the guys, would play cards naked, except with boots on.
Oh my!
And all he would do is fart the entire time, and his farts smelled horrible because of the liquor, the beer and the wine he would drink. So
it's like that scene in Blazing Saddles.
Andre would be naked playing cards with Arnold Skaaland and with his friends, and he'd be farting the entire time. Like, come on, Andre! The entire locker room like fart. Come on, boss! What the fuck? They call him boss. Everybody would call him.
Because he was, yeah. I mean, he would also call other people boss. In the movie, they said one of the things Rob Reiner said was that Andre farted for like 45 seconds. He goes, "You okay, Andre? I'm okay now, boss." He was a good guy, yeah, a really good guy.
Yeah. So Elimination Chamber Toronto. That was the show itself was fine. But that ending was historic and incredible. That ending will be talked about for years to come. Kind of like Hogan's heel turn in '96. To this day, they talk about it. So
yeah, but I think Hogan's turn was better because no one expected Hogan. No one expected it to be Hogan because Hogan was all up on the red and yellow, and he still wanted that gimmick left.
I mean, Bobby Heenan kind of spoiled it by saying, "Whose side is he on?"
Yeah. Whose side is he on?
Yeah. So that night,
I just knew he was going to do that.
I knew. Yeah.
Savage was the same way. I saw the Savage turn because he turned at Super Brawl '97. Savage comes out in black and white. It was like, I mean, he's like, Savage, who's he gonna, is he gonna turn NWO? What's going on here? But he was dressed in black and white. So of course,
I don't know why Macho Man was dressed like that.
Weeks and weeks and weeks they had spent beating up Savage. They beat him up like every single fucking week.
Yeah,
and he just took it.
Bruce Brown's question: who's everyone's favorite wrestler of all time?
Undertaker. Oh, we know your answer.
Look at my wall, baby. This is Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. So there you go.
My favorite is Undertaker.
Ugh,
Really?
I have to go.
I really didn't like Mark. No, I tried, but I did not like the
You need to
Undertaker.
get Tombstone for that. I'm sorry.
Bring it, boy.
Well, he was around. He had a great career. Was around for 30 years.
Yeah, he had a great career.
His podcast, by the way, is fantastic. You've seen his podcast. I mean,
what about yours, Angel?
Bret Hart. I have to go with Bret.
Yeah, and if David was here, he would say Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Yeah, he would say Shawn Michaels because he's talked about Shawn before. So, how much he was a fan of his. So, yeah, which heel turn is better? Depends on your age. If you're 17, 18, 19 years old, and you've seen Cena as a babyface your entire life, and then all of a sudden he's a heel, it's like, oh my God, it was that Hogan moment, but for that generation.
If you're 40s or 50s, I would say Bruno Sammartino when Larry Sabisco when
Larry
he turned
Sabisco.
Bruno.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He actually they had to sneak him out in a trunk of a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Larry Sabisco said he was so shit scared. I mean, they literally said they put him in the trunk and said, "You know what, Larry, go to the next town. Do not stop."
No, it's like one of those.
Or I think let no one know.
even Bruno was like, "Hey, you sure you want to do this, kid? Because once you do this, it's no turning back. You're gonna be a heel. You're gonna be hated.
You're gonna be literally. They're gonna put riot and set the seats on fire, and
they're gonna try to stab you. They're gonna do sure you don't have to do it, but if you will do it. Oh yeah, I want to do it. It made his career. It made Larry Sabisco's career. It made his career for turning on Bruno, especially in the New York territory. Everybody loved Bruno.
You like Ricky Steamboat. Indy likes Big Papa Pump. I hated Scott Steiner.
What?
Even I hated Scott Steiner even when he went to the NWO. Now I was a huge NWO fan, but I hated Scott Steiner.
One of the most disgusting segments when Scott Steiner was part of it. 2003, the Iraq War was going on. They had Steiner and Angel. Who was that other guy that he debated on for the Iraq War segment?
I don't remember.
He was a sidekick for Matt Hardy a little bit.
Christopher Nowinski?
Yeah. They did that segment talking about the Iraq War, but that Chris, whatever the last name is, he's Nowinski, a heel. Yeah. Not the face. But Chris said the right thing, saying we shouldn't go to Iraq. We shouldn't fight Iraq. But Scott said, like, no, we need to support our troops. We go to Iraq and fight,
That was the babyface thing at the time, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The fans went nuts for it. Yeah, and Nowinski was the heel. Like, oh, yeah, we shouldn't go into Iraq. I'm like, wait, what? That's reversed.
To them, it was a big joke, though. Yeah, it was a big joke because they're like, well, whose side are you on? Are you for Iraq or against?
Are you for America? Yeah, that was the attitude.
Yeah, are you for America or not?
Steven said...
Shannon Moore.
What? Dave Melt says Shannon Moore was his favorite.
I don't know who that is.
Shannon Moore is?
No.
The druggie, Matt Hart, Jeff Hardy's buddy, I think.
No, Matt Hardy. Because Matt Hardy turned on Jeff Hardy.
Okay, yeah, it was Matt Hardy's buddy.
No.
Yeah, Orndorff turns on Hogan was another.
That was a good heel turn.
Yeah.
You remember he was the guy where Brock Lesnar picked him to be his opponent for the title match in 2003, and then JPL picked him to be his opponent in 2004. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he got destroyed both times.
I still like the Paul Heyman thing when they had that ECW for One Night Stand or whatever, and I love the Paul Heyman shoot interview on JBL. The only reason why you were champion for a year is because Triple H didn't want to work on Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. Paul Heyman's so savage on that one.
Yeah.
Woo!
At the time, it's Edge.
Edge was like, so yeah. I mean it. What was I going to say? I don't think it's important. Bruce Brown, Kurt Hennig should have won the WWE Championship at least once. He won the AWA World Title.
Thank you. So, I agree.
There you go.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
He's not perfect.
Shut up.
He was the AWA World Heavyweight once, and then he should have been in WWF. I think he would have been. If it wasn't for Hogan nixing his push.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. He was Portland champion in 83, and then in AWA he would go through much of 87 and 88, back and forth with certain people, and then he officially would drop it to Jerry Lawler when he went to WWF. And he was supposed to have a push in 89 with Hogan. That's what Brett talks about in his book. I don't know, Bruce, if you had read Brett's book, but Brett said that he was him and Kurt had matches in April and some in May, mostly house shows. So they were dark matches. There was like one that was taped that they had, and that was in Toronto, I think, at the Maple Leaf. That might not be Toronto. That might be something else. But I don't know if it was in Calgary or Toronto, but they had a match that was taped in Canada, and it came to a draw anyway. But Brett said in his book he was getting Kurt ready for Hogan, and it was Hogan that went to Vince McMahon and said, "Oh, he's not in my league." No, honey, he's above your league. He was second generation Hogan.
What I never understood about that is Hulk should have been smart enough to know, hey, Kurt can bump for me, make me look like a superstar, and it doesn't have to put him over. Hulk's like, oh, I'm not gonna put him over, right? Vince says, oh, no, pal. I mean, don't worry about it.
But that, and that was what they, because I had watched this. Oh, the top 10 oversellers. That wasn't overselling. Of course, Kurt was number one. But he bumped for people and made the babyface look like $1 million. That's not overselling. That's literally making the babyface look great. And then you as a heel are like he needs to get his comeuppance, I
think for a lot of people, it reminded him of what Shawn Michaels did to Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam. That over-the-top selling, the ridiculous selling he did for Hulk. I'm not sure you saw that match, but that's why a lot of modern fans look back at that and was like, well, that's overselling. Like, so
it's not overselling.
Selling.
What's the point of the heel turn if it only lasted for like a month?
That was Hogan's idea.
Yeah, that
Hogan
was
insisted on Shawn turning heel.
Yeah.
It was Hulk insisting on Shawn turning heel and work with him as a heel.
It's kind of like the Kurt Hennig turning to the Four Horsemen 2 weeks before he turns on them and goes to the NWO. That was a Bischoff idea, actually. That was Bischoff's idea to have him. I'm like, no, you either do it at the beginning and get the fans to trust Kurt and push him through like that. And then, that bastard, he turned on us at Fall Brawl. No, that didn't happen 2 weeks before. It didn't make any fucking sense. It didn't make any sense.
It didn't mean anything because it's 2 weeks. Let's see. Rocco says
we should get to
yes, he did.
Now.
Rocco said that CM Punk wins the title from Cena at SummerSlam.
Well,
I would love that.
That did happen a long time ago.
But I would love it again.
15 years, again, 13 years ago at this point.
Yes, Steven, Kurt put a lot of people over. Yes, he did. And he did that because for a good reason, especially in 2002. I think he was trying to put over a lot of the younger guys, but also the WCW. The ECW guys, because he had a lot of matches with those ECW guys, and he was trying to get them over as well.
Yeah. Dave says, in terms of technicality in the ring, Hennig for sure. Marketability, Hogan would have play a part of it and not want to sell for Hennig.
Yeah, but I mean, you either sell or you don't. If you don't sell, you make the other guy look like shit. It looks fake. I mean, and that's the thing. Kurt never wanted it to look fake. He wanted fans to believe it. He entertained the fans by being a bastard heel,
Hulk wasn't going to sell for anybody. He had to sell for guys his size or bigger. No. Like a guy like Kurt was smaller.
He sold for the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6.
Oh, God.
There was some non-selling. There was a lot of non-selling. Steve, I don't agree. I wish that Kurt had actually wrestled in that match, but he didn't.
One more thing. What was I gonna say? That WrestleMania 6 match between Hogan and Warrior was.
I mean, they both were no selling for each other. Yeah, Hogan wasn't selling, Warrior wasn't selling. So I mean, even though they say, "Oh, it was the greatest match of all," I don't think so. No way.
No,
it was just a babyface versus babyface match.
At least according to Hulk, Warrior 20 seconds in was like, I'm done. I got nothing left, man. 20 seconds
and or he's like, we're like supposed to go 10 more minutes, dude.
We're supposed to go. No, it was like 30 minutes. It was like 30 minutes more.
Yeah.
It's like he had him in like a chin lock. He's like they're talking like we're supposed to go 30 minutes. What do you want to do? Just beat me? I'm not gonna let you beat me.
we should get to the videos now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been we're already 8:15 and we gotta try to start wrapping up in 45 minutes, maybe earlier than that. So
first video, play the Jeff Jarrett mocking Dusty Rhodes video I sent to you.
Oh, I hate Jeff Jarrett.
Okay,
I was never a fan of Jeff Jarrett, and now I know why.
I'm gonna have to get off of YouTube. So let's.
All right, everyone on YouTube, it's been fun. Thank you so much. Head on over to Rumble, please, so that we can, watch some videos and hopefully entertain you some more.
Yeah, for the next few minutes at least. So yeah, I mean, we'll head over to Rumble or Twitch or Twitter. I mean, those platforms should be on down there anyway. So check that out. Make sure
been fucking up lately.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow me on X. Make sure you hit that bell, that notification bell when I'm live, even though people have issues with it. So
yeah, I had issues with it the other day because I didn't even know you were live. That's why I went. I was like, I didn't get a notification from YouTube or nothing.
Remember when
so angry.
I accidentally ended the stream a few weeks ago?
Oh yeah, oops.
Yeah, I remember that.
We had to start over again.
Whoops, wait, I'm screwing up here. Yeah, so make sure you do all that. Make sure if you're make sure like and subscribe. Also there's donation links in the description box below. If you guys are able to want to give a few bucks to help the show, greatly appreciate it. I'll mostly use that money to improve the content and to maybe pay my internet bill, to help out with that. So if you guys are able to, appreciate it. If not, just hang out in the chat, like and subscribe, and we'll have a good time. So just start heading over to the other platforms now so we can, watch some videos in the next few minutes. And if you're on, I hope you check out Pro Wrestling Talk. We'll be back on Saturday, I assume. So it'll be next Saturday, 8 o'clock. Yep. And Angel in the Afternoon is every Friday at 7 Eastern. So check me out there. I'll see you guys next week. Have a great week, everybody. Peace. All right.